Hey, fellow freaksters, it's Tim from the Moratorium. Just here to remind you that if you enjoy what you hear, please like, share, and subscribe, then rinse and repeat. We're just a couple of small-town nerds trying to make sweet geek love to your ear holes, and we can use your support. Look for us on your favorite social media, or contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Now that that's out of the way, on with the shenanigans. Welcome to the Yarn Wall, a mini moratorium. I'm your host, Tim Kornman. On this episode, Jason and I take a long, drunken dive into the depths of IMDb. This is where we break down the last week's film and follow the yarn to make the thinnest and slightest connection to our next movie. It's kind of like a 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game with slurred speech and double vision, which can only explain the sudden jump into the middle of the thread of the conversation that is the Yarn Wall. Willy Wonka.
He's not a midget.
Beware of the dwarf.
That means something different now.
Barbara Box boobies.
I'm confused then.
Here's a pamphlet. Balls, sweaty balls, you said? Tell me more about said sweaty balls.
I don't ever want this podcast to be not safe for work. Although we do say... is that funny? Do we say things that are not safe for work?
Maybe there's a reason you don't listen to the podcast.
Wow. I've completely disassociated from what we're doing. It's like this happens in a fugue state, and when I wake up, it's just... it's a new day.
Yeah. I have a podcast?
What is a podcast? That would be the question. Is it just two guys trying to pronounce Italian names?
Yeah. Or any names?
I'm going to have a couple of names today that are going to be...
Oh, yeah.
Well, you heard one earlier that I'm still amazed that I could get it off, but...
I don't remember. I already forgot.
Cool. That'll be funny when I bring it up later.
All right.
What's your name again?
Yeah. Have we ever talked about this? I just pulled this up. That, I guess a few years ago, they released a quote-unquote director's cut of Exorcist 3.
Yes. I think I have watched it.
Okay.
I could not tell you off the top of my head what was different about it, though.
Because it says that the Exorcist 3 original version was destroyed or lost by the production company Morgan Creek. Damn you, Morgan!
Man.
However, I think there's still an uncut print around there somewhere, so the Scream Factory released this recreated director's cut the best way that it could by including VHS copy that the director had. They cleaned up the footage and it was used sparingly. However, the difference in quality and screen ratio is very noticeable, and it might be off-putting to some viewers.
Well, that is really interesting. I think I have that edition, but if there was a lot of differences, I just glossed right over them. I don't remember. Man, I love that movie.
Same here.
Really love that movie. What's that guy's name? I love it how I bring people up and then just immediately for the guy from The Beast Within, Gordon. What's his name? Something Ron Gordon? Am I wrong? That's my go-to name when I just don't have a name.
Is that it? Okay.
It's just Ron.
Don
Gordon.
Don Gordon.
He's the bald, weird. What does he do in The Beast Within?
He was the judge.
Yeah, the judge.
And the oldest of the whatever brothers.
Yes, exactly. But he is also one of the detectives. One of. Oh gosh, it's already starting. I'm going to be horrible with names. George C. Scott.
Right.
It's one of George C. Scott's detectives in his precinct or whatever.
But I know we brought this up. We talked about Jason Miller.
Yes, love that guy.
Love him. But we mentioned that his son is Jason Patrick.
Yeah, yes, in the weirdest.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but it went even further. I didn't realize that Sud's son, his mother is
Yeah, I don't remember.
Jackie Gleason's daughter.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Okay, I don't remember talking about
Couldn't
that.
make that up. That is strange.
And she was in Alice, Sweet Alice.
Wow, really?
She was the one that was accused of killing her sister,
Mm-hmm.
who was Brooke Shields.
Right.
Anyway.
Interesting.
That was a rabbit hole that I just went down and went, Jackie Gleason's daughter?
Yeah. I love all those like kind of old Hollywood connections, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the girl in I Spit on Your Grave? Wasn't she like a famous come on, help me out.
Camille Keaton?
Keaton, Buster Keaton's daughter.
No
or granddaughter.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. She is distantly related to the legendary film comedian Buster Keaton.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that big.
Yeah,
it's not like he went to her birthday party.
Right.
And just fell down into the cake or something. Oh my gosh. I love looking at those like old guys, and it's like, you know, his seventh wife. It's like 7 wives? How?
Jackie Gleason's first wife is where he had the daughter.
Well, he sent her to the moon.
He got married at the age of 20 and was married for 34 years to this woman and then divorced. Wow. It was like, wow.
Yeah, how does that work?
And still got married twice more after that, you know?
I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of bored.
Yeah. After 34 years, she was sent to the moon.
Huh.
Anyway, just wanted to say we're coming in hot today.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to... Anxious?
Sure.
I guess that's what I am to talk about.
Let me see. Dictionary. Yeah. Hey.
Oh, I just need to pee. I'm not anxious. I'm just...
Oh, you just...
That's it. I keep forgetting.
I have sweaty balls and I need to pee.
Okay. Stop saying that.
All right, then.
That's an SNL sketch.
Is it? Yeah, the sweaty balls. So, hey. Welcome to the Yarn Wall. And this is how it begins, as rabbit hole after rabbit hole.
Yeah. Oh, man. It'll get worse, too.
Yeah. Before it gets better.
Whatever you're experiencing right now, it will actually get worse as the episode goes on.
Speaking of anxiety.
Oh, man. It's going to be... It really is, like, so much worse. Should you say your name real quick so I can get on with
Tim Cornman.
I'm Jason Walker.
All right. Welcome to...
Yeah. We just talk about movies and whatnot. Especially this, well, we talk about movies.
And we talk a lot about whatnot.
For sure. Whatnot is like 80% of the thing. But we also do like pick the subject for the next podcast. Which, man, I've got it like...
You got it tight now?
I hope that you're going to be mind blown and excited about this. Man, these are the episodes that I shouldn't have to think that much about. But man, I was really like, what am I going to do? I got to figure out how to get this, you know, person to that person from, you know. So our previous movie was Caveman. And it's one of those things where, you know, if we are going to play that like kind of Kevin Bacon game, would you rather think of the movie first and then try to make it happen? Or just by that, you know, rule, this could be kind of gimmicky and, you know, just not gimmicky, but like, we don't have to do this, you know?
Really? All right. Click.
What are we calling it too? Wait a minute. Did you just hang up? Are you talking through a rubber chicken? I guess all I'm saying is I do enjoy that it's making me look at things that I normally wouldn't, you know, kind of...
Yeah, naturally look at. I mean, I'm curious about things and actors and their beginnings, but it can be exhausting once you get started though, and you're like, how the hell did I get on
dude
Vincent D'Onofrio? I was just looking at Tom Clancy novels.
Right, exactly, yeah. That's so funny because I was just looking at Vincent D'Onofrio. He is, you know, he's a pretty like liberal, tweeter, and he was just kind of blasting Trump for some stuff.
Oh.
That was fun.
Vincent showed up in the Interrogation TV show I was telling you about. He was playing
oh yeah, right.
A internal affairs officer. There we go.
I was wondering if you said that right.
Nope, did not. One beer down. This is why I wait. To crack open one. Otherwise I make no sense.
I'm going by a completely different set of rules. One could almost say the opposite. But I feel like my mind is totally melded with IMDb right now. I have so many.
I had 7 tabs open. Now I'm down to 4.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be really, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but this is going to be really good.
Well, I thought my journey into Caveman was good.
Yes.
And then we spent 2.5 hours
talking about everything but
Caveman.
Yeah. Well, come on. There's not a lot to it. There's no dialogue. Shelley Long's the only like saving grace of it. That's so funny to me that is what my takeaway was from that movie, is that I love Shelley Long, because she's so, I think we probably talked about her being like super method and really selling God, that was her first movie. And it's like, she's grunting like a, that's just crazy.
Now, how long did you have the theme song stuck in your head, though?
Well, it was a Insidious kind of thing because there's no words to it. It's just that beat. And, I guess there are, noises. I guess. They're not saying words.
Wasn't it written by Wham? I was just going to bring
man.
Again.
Great. I talked to you earlier on the phone, and you mentioned Wham, and I was like, oh, good. Well, he's gotten it out of his system,
Nope. It all comes back. George Michael did the music and the lyrics for...
Peter Ridgely? I guess that'd be 2 on the nose. What's his name?
Ridgely's correct. It's Andrew.
Andrew Ridgely.
Yes.
Peter. But anyway, yeah. Dude, that video, when they are in those kind of day-glow, like, women's shorts, not cool. I do not like revisiting that. There's a movie called Cockfighter. Anyway.
Cockfighter or
Cockfighter? Cockfighter. And this is not safe for work because cockfights, I just like saying that word. Damn, dude. Harry Dean Stanton and Warren Oates are in a movie called Cockfighter 2 years before I was born.
1974.
We could go down that hole, but it's directed by Monty Hellman. Monty Hellman is going to come up.
Uh-oh. Should I look, or do you want me to stay out of it?
No. It has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, he was the producer of Reservoir Dogs.
He also directed Two-Lane Blacktop, which I do want to talk about for a second.
James Taylor?
Yep.
The James Taylor?
Yep. Playing a real badass.
No shit.
When you think of James Taylor,
you've got a friend.
Yeah, come on. I love that song, and also he's the real fucking deal. Like he is a badass guitarist. He's not a wimpy guy or something, He sings like kind of soft ballads and stuff, but he can like rock too. But anyway,
well, it looks like maybe there might be a full movie version on YouTube of Two-Lane Blacktop.
Oh, well, if you guys have the time, it is one of my favorite movies.
Shit, I've never seen it. Never heard of it.
It's one of those like 60s movies where it was made in 71. There's not really a plot to it. It's about 2 dudes, James Taylor and Dennis Wilson. Brian Wilson, the Beach Boys,
Okay.
Dennis is the one that kind of like lost his shit a little bit, and was having the Manson family stay
Really?
at his house.
He died in 1983 from drowning. Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, he had Charlie and some of the girls like over to his house, and like they had stayed there, and
Wow.
because Charles Manson was trying to get his
Music
career.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So Dennis Wilson and James Taylor are drag racing across the U.S. Is that it?
Dennis Wilson is, I think his name is the mechanic.
That's what it says. Yes.
Yeah.
But Warren Oates is GTO. That's his name.
Yeah. And his story is, you're familiar with Warren Oates, right?
Yes.
I don't even know how to describe him. He's just the crusty, he's such a great actor. He does what he does so well. He's not even quite the bad guy. You kind of want to think he's the bad guy in Two Lane Blacktop. The whole thing is Dennis Wilson and James Taylor have this Chevy.
The 55 Chevy.
That is just fucking, they go to drags.
Okay.
And they win money and pink slips or whatever. I don't know. Pink slips is when you get fired. What are they talking about?
Sure.
When they're driving for the title to...
I'm pretty sure that's what they were driving for in Greece, right?
What do you mean, pink slips? You lose the race, you lose the car, Isn't that what he said?
Ron Howard's in a bunch of racing movies back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
too.
He directed Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But I love how everybody in this two-lane Blacktop, nobody has a real name. James Taylor is the driver.
Right, yeah.
Lori Bird is the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Dean Stanton is Oklahoma Hitchhiker.
Wow, dude.
That's it.
I love him. But also Warren Oates is just fucking... What is Warren Oates' name in it?
GTO.
Yeah, right, GTO.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, he's so proud of his car, and his story is... I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you exactly what his, kind of film archetype is. I guess he's having a midlife crisis, really.
Okay.
It's what it is. He goes and buys that GTO. I think he says it in the movie, he explains why he has this, he's been kind of lusting after this car. He finally gets it, and it is a badass car.
Mm-hmm.
Then he meets up with James Taylor and Dennis Wilson. It for sure is a road trip movie,
Are they racing across America? Because it shows them here. I see a shot of them both at the same gas station.
Yes.
And it looks like they're switching plates on their cars too to try to...
For some reason. Yeah. James Taylor is bald now,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does look like a badass.
That's the thing, is that James Taylor and Dennis Wilson, they're not actors, they're performers, and they don't say a lot. They don't have a lot of dialogue in it. James Taylor as a badass is a weird kind of thing to see.
Putting it on my list.
Yeah, it's pretty
Very
good.
Interesting.
Also, if you like Warren Oates, Bring Me the Head of...
Alfredo Garcia?
Yeah, it's a Sam Peckinpah movie, and I think the guy that directed... Monty Hellman directed Two Lane Blacktop, right? And he is a, kind of like Corman friend, made a lot of cheap movies. Beast from the Haunted Cave, kind of thing. Apparently, he went on to become a producer because he produced Reservoir Dogs. He also directed a movie called Iguana that has Everett McGill, the guy from Dune and Twin Peaks, big tall guy. Fucking love that dude. Do you know who I'm talking about? He was in People Under the Stairs.
Okay, yeah.
He was he's fucking awesome. I'm not even going to click on it because it looks real cheap, but Monty Hellman directed it.
Awesome. Yeah, the poster for Iguana looks just bizarre.
Oh, man. Yeah, it does.
Backdoor to Hell. I know what that's about.
I think Hell left its screen door open.
The girl that's in Two Lane Blacktop, she committed suicide at the age of 25.
Yep, I saw that.
But she was, it looked like she was only 17 in the film. Yeah.
She's just the girl.
Just the girl. Anyway, you're saying somebody left the screen door open in hell?
I guess. Or let it slam shut.
Monty Hellman directed Silent Night, Deadly Night 3.
Okay. I'm glad you're helping me out on that side because I did not know a lot about him.
Yeah. Was it necessary? No. Was it money?
No,
Probably.
I think so. I think so because what we're doing is we're going to butt up against Roger Corman. I mean, I'm sure we have already
butted up next to him. Yeah.
Yes, it's just eventual. I am watching a Roger Corman movie right now. I'm watching It Conquered the World.
Okay.
With some MST commentary, and it has, man.
Reel it in. That one guy with the face.
This is what I hate is.
I'm not looking it up, so you get.
It has Lee Van Cleef.
Yeah. Okay.
Peter Graves is the main character. He's like a NASA scientist. His name's Paul Nelson.
That's a plain name right there.
That is really a plain name. Lee Van Cleef is not a plain name. That's a pretty badass name. But anyway, it's like a giant pickle that terrorizes Earth.
Awesome.
Dick Miller is in it.
I was looking at him earlier.
Yep. Oh, man. That alone would be...
a Sunday afternoon.
So many movies. He was in The Burbs. You know what? This podcast might just... I think we've probably talked about it before, but like become the Burbcast.
The Burbcast.
And we just talk about the Burbs. I don't know if there's enough there.
It has to come back around to the Burbs somehow.
Yeah.
If you can connect your movie to the Burbs, you're fine.
You know, I probably could.
I'm sure you could.
I'm so proud of
your yarn?
Yeah. It's a silly game, right? It's not, we don't have to do that.
No, we don't have to, but we're going to.
Yeah. Yeah. It is more fun. It gives you a sense of accomplishment if you can do it really well, So I was kind of coming at it like, okay, I'm going to make the longest, just...
I've got 3 pages of just names.
Yeah, exactly. We'd have to send it off to an independent company to like check it. But then so I've been stressing about that all day because I have a movie that I really wanted to do and, just kind of fits the bill. It needs to be in there. Man, it was hard to try to like...
Did you work it from both ends? I often find myself working the candle from both ends.
Yeah. No, that's what I did.
I'll get to an actor one way. I'm like, ooh, I bet I can get to him from the other way too.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you just run around in circles.
Yeah, sometimes you're looking at all those names and you're like, what was I doing again? I don't even remember what.
And then you realize you've been looking at the same side. You have not connected to anything.
Exactly. I found myself doing that. I was like going down a rabbit hole and I was like, okay, I got it. It's done. And then I was like, wait, of course he was in the same movie that he was in because he's just one person and not 2 people. Fuck. But I got a pretty good one today. You tell me when you want to hear it because I don't know. We can bullshit a little bit about other stuff, but I'm pretty proud of this one. Do you need to say anything about Caveman? Do we need to wrap up anything, or like, do you have any like thoughts about?
I held it in high regards when I was young.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah.
I wonder if it was more like Ringo Starr was like, I want to make a movie. I'm a millionaire. I'm a fucking Beatle.
Do you think he had anything to do with that?
I don't know. I don't. I'm sure that information is readily available on the internet, and I just didn't care.
I don't even care to look it up.
Exactly. The only thing I took away from that is just Shelley Long is cool, and
Dennis Quaid was young.
Oh yeah, Dennis Quaid. That's fine. Man, Dennis Quaid. That's just
He's a good, solid actor.
Just get out there and count on him for everything. Good looking dude.
His last movie, I think it was called Intruder.
Maybe.
Something like that. He sold his house after his wife died or something like that. He sold his house, and then after the people who bought it, he just kept showing up because he didn't.
Oh, kind of like a
yeah.
Hasn't he done that before? Like, kind of been the good-looking dude that's actually like sinister. What is the name of that? It was like the name of the street. I can't think of what it was. That was another one where it was like kind of the good, you know. It was like a Kevin Costner type guy who was just like secretly. Oh no, wait! It was Michael Keaton, wasn't it? What was that movie?
No, Michael Keaton. That was in Pacific Heights.
Yes, Pacific Heights. That's what I was trying to think of.
I was trying to think of where Dennis Quaid may have played a real bad guy. It's kind of hard to find. He was just kind of the good guy.
Yeah, well, it's hard to think when you've just got Enemy Mine and Louis Gossett Jr. having a baby that you kind of, gloss over all the other.
Now, Switchback.
Ooh, the one with Danny Glover?
Yeah, Switchback.
Yep. Was Dennis Quaid the bad guy?
Maybe. FBI agent tries to catch a serial killer who kidnapped his son.
Danny Glover in a big cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I like that movie. That was a weird movie.
I don't remember it too much.
It was sort of like a, kind of a mystery, but it was very like kind of 90s. It seemed very weird. It seemed like a road movie or, something like kind of like Tarantino was in the mix now. So we have to make our movies like kind of edgier or something, or have some like quirky dialogue or whatever.
The one I brought up earlier was Are You in the House Alone? That was
Dennis long Quaid. Title for a movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Kathleen Beller from Sword and the Sorcerer.
The girl? The girl?
The girl.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And Blythe Danner.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Fudge. We've talked about this before because Scott Columby was in it. And Scott Columby was, I followed him for a moment. He was Tony D'Annunzio in Caddyshack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
He was also in Porky's as Brian Schwartz.
D'Annunzio.
Yeah. What's that sign say? No bare feet. What's that sign say? No fighting.
Is that Brian Doyle Murphy?
Yes,
or Murray?
Murray.
Yeah.
I always say Murphy too. Which I was looking at Joel earlier. Joel Murray. I don't know why I was looking at him. I just picked him up.
That seems weird.
Oh, because he was in One Crazy Summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's Tim and Booger
and Bobcat Goldthwait and
John Matusek.
That's right. That's why because I was trying to make connections just in case you couldn't make your yarn. I could help you get to some places, right?
And I've got them all in my head. it's hard to put them together.
Tom Villard played Clay Stork. So you got
yeah.
Egg Stork was Bobcat Goldthwait, and Clay Stork was Tom Villard. And he was an interesting guy. He was in Popcorn. He was in Grease 2.
Yes, I love him.
He died in 1994 of AIDS.
Oh no, that's not good. He was in Popcorn, right?
Right.
Michael and I think I've probably brought Michael up on this podcast before.
Should we verify the names that we repeat on this?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
They're people we know.
Yeah,
Get over it.
Right. We're going to bring up people.
Some were married to.
Anyway, Michael and I loved Popcorn. And I probably watched it with him like fucking 20 times. And I love that guy. He's kind of the same character in every movie he's in, I love those guys that can they've got their niche, and just when you want a kind of, goofy sort of sidekick guy.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I saw Popcorn at the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I did. That was 1991.
Yep. I remember that guy. I keep on saying that guy. What's his name?
That guy, Tom Villard.
Tom Villard. I remember him in Skeeter, the movie that they're, it's like a giant mosquito, because that's what Popcorn is like kind of several, they're showing movies, and Skeeter was.
That's awesome.
He's like in a car or something. He's like, I don't know what it is, but it sounds close. And the whole time it's like, zzz. They're just like,
it's good stuff.
Yep, good stuff.
Well, the person I wanted to highlight today.
Okay. Oh, great. I forgot about this. Yeah, I've got one too.
I wanted to highlight him. We talked about him before, but maybe not in great depth.
Mm-hmm.
And I started digging in today, and I've got to talk about him now.
Okay.
It's Robert Zadar.
Yeah, the guy with the face.
Yeah, or Robert James Zadarsky.
Okay, sure.
That was his Christian name.
Nobody thought that his real last name had an apostrophe in it. You're not fooling anybody. You're a Polak. I'm sorry. Edit that out.
That's all right. He may be. No, he was Lithuanian descent.
Oh, okay. It's hard for me. Lithuanian? Where is Lithuania?
Mm-hmm.
So all Lithuanians have a 10-inch like jaw.
But that's just it. Okay. If you look at some of his early career, his face was not that. His face got huge.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Are you going to drop some knowledge on me that is like why his face looks like that?
It's called cherubism.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Not kidding you.
I've never.
And,
okay.
and actually, it's kind of like a fibrotic tissue that's just, it's a genetic disorder.
It's not his actual like bone structure.
No, it kind of forming on the bones and making his face and jaw continue to grow.
Holy shit. Is he still with us?
No.
Is he still alive?
Nope, he is dead. In 2015, he died of cardiac arrest.
Didn't say anything about his chin overtaking him in the middle of the night.
This is straight from IMDb in his mini bio.
He was smothered by his own jaw in the middle of the night.
It kind of makes it out to sound like this too. But prior to his acting career, he was a singer, a keyboardist, and a guitar player for a Chicago-based rock band called Nova Express.
Damn, dude. And so did you follow that little thread?
I tried to find something. There's a couple of bands called Nova Express. One's German, one's newer. I tried to find some
Look
music.
for the Lithuanian one.
Yeah, exactly. I listened to part of the German one and actually got caught up listening to it for quite some time. It's not...
Is it like a disco or not disco, but like a
no? It's rock
like
music,
electronic.
but there's a little bit of electronic in there.
Fuck yeah,
but
dude.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, like, and now I'm picturing Robert Zadar in like Daft Punk, you know,
exactly.
And they like couldn't get a helmet that would fit his head.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Rocking the keyboard. It's beautiful.
What if he had one of those keytars? You know, like those.
It says here, his big, brawny, and imposing, with an enormous face, gigantic jaw, and a massive, muscular physique, hulking at 6'2".
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. He was in, he was Maniac Cop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He had sort of like a Colombian, what do you call that? Colombian bow tie?
Necktie.
Colombian
neckties where they slit your throat and then pull your tongue out. Yeah.
Yes. Not that, but he sort of had that.
I watched one of the fight scenes in Tango and Cash.
Oh my God. Can we do that movie, please? No. I know it doesn't really fit into what we're doing.
We can highlight it.
I love that fucking movie so much. Michael J. Pollard is like Q, you know, when obviously he has to have someone else like tie his shoelaces because he is not a engineer. You know what I mean?
Right. He briefly worked as a Chippendale dancer.
Of course he did.
I can't imagine that either.
There's probably a certain... Everybody has their own like kinks or whatever, and there probably is someone out there that's like, I just want a face that is like a yard across.
Is that what the song was about, though? Kinks are getting harder to find?
Yeah, maybe. And
kinks just keep getting
Guy
harder
Without
to
a
find.
Face.
No.
Is that a Billy Idol?
It was Man Without a Face, but that's okay.
Guy without a face. Got no human race. What does that even mean? Got no human race?
I don't know.
That applies to Robert Zadar. He's not a human. Guy without a face.
That's hilarious. Zadar was a former Chicago police officer.
Yes.
I think we talked about that before.
You know what? It's been a long time since I've seen Maniac Cop. Is Bruce Campbell in that?
I believe so, yes.
Is it a, like one of those guys, like Robert Tappert or something? Is it one of their movies? I don't know why Bruce.
Down here.
It seems like kind of like Intruder. Did you watch Intruder? Bruce Campbell's.
No. So Maniac Cop was written by Larry Cohen.
Oh shit! Are you kidding me?
No,
okay, I should have known that right off the.
And we had Richard Roundtree was in it.
Okay, cool. Shaft. Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Bruce Campbell, of course, we talked about, and I don't see anybody really else. It was directed by William Lustig.
Mm-hmm. I come across that name quite often.
He's had a lot in producing a Dan O'Bannon documentary. He's done a lot of producing.
A documentary about Dan O'Bannon or a documentary that...
Dan O'Bannon Crafting Fear, a video documentary short.
Wow, cool.
So,
I would watch that.
But as for his directing career, he did the Maniac Cop 2, Maniac Cop 3, he did Relentless, which we talked about,
yes.
And he did conducting Dario Argento's Opera, a video documentary short. So, interesting.
Judd Nelson was in that other movie, right?
Right, Relentless.
Turns out it was his nostrils that were doing all the murdering.
So, Zadar's first movie was called Hellhole, and he went by Robert Darcy.
Okay.
Back then.
Trying to find his brand,
Mm-hmm. It had Marjo Gortner in it.
Oh, brother.
Mary Warnoff.
Lover.
Richard Cox. I don't know who that is. I just wanted to say
Dick Cox.
with a name like Dick Cox.
Oh,
you can't go wrong.
What if he had like a caulking company? Like he just sold caulk?
Dick Cox.
Dick. Oh, man. Okay. That's
Dick
enough.
Cox's caulk.
That's enough.
You started it. Anyway, there's a lot of videos on YouTube with Robert Zadar.
Uh-huh.
Somebody made up a 2-hour video
Supercut.
that is a loop of Robert Zadar laughing.
I've never seen him laugh.
It's like a 3-second clip somebody looped for 2 hours.
Wow.
From the movie Killing American Style. It has 65 views. I'm not saying that's a whole lot of views.
Are you saying 65,000?
No, 65 views.
Just 65. Are you sure it's not like spam or it's not going to like install something weird on your browser?
Probably. But I'm saying is, our podcast on YouTube hasn't reached 65 views yet. So this is wow. What we're striving to beat.
Okay, so
his 8-second laughing loop.
There is a GIF that is more popular than our podcast.
Let's put things in perspective.
Yeah.
Now you're going to watch it, and it's going to have 66 views. We have to reach up there.
I'll make it my phone wallpaper.
Anyway, but back in the 80s.
Which is where all of this is taking place, right? Or early 90s. When did Maniac Cop come out?
Oh, now I gotta go back. Maniac Cop
was it the 90s or the 80s?
88.
Okay.
He was in a movie called Grotesque in 88, that same year.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a couple of scenes from that. It seemed kind of interesting just because it had Linda Blair in it.
Okay, let me guess. He is in a tank top and stonewashed jeans.
Maybe.
With a ponytail.
Yeah. He's with a punk rock group type thing that are kind of chasing down Linda Blair and her friend. And
damn, dude.
It's like one of those movies in a movie type thing.
What was it? Savage Streets? Was that the other?
Savage Streets.
No, wait a minute. Something like that. Linda Blair has a crossbow, and Linnea Quigley is her little sister, her deaf little sister.
I vaguely remember that. Yep. But Robert Zadar, in 1989, he was in the Galactic Video Review Adventure magazine.
I have no idea what that is.
Exactly. Never heard of it. He's in a weird suit. He's playing a character by the name of Commander Varnak. And there are two kids that are in front of them. They're kind of in this set that's kind of look like a spaceship. Basically, they're playing and reviewing old 8-bit video games.
Huh. Are you saying that it like something Nintendo would do, or like
maybe it's a skit with him and two kids, and I mean he's owning it. He's owning every bit of it.
Keep your kids away from Robert. No, I don't know. He's probably a great guy.
They did Millipede. They did Adventure Island. They did what was it? 1943 was it? Something like that.
The shooter.
Yeah, the shooter game.
Sequel to 1941.
I played the shit out of 1941.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I thought it was just funny to see him in a role like this.
And is he made up like half a cyborg head, or
he has a costume on and some dark sunglasses?
Okay, because he's I love MST. He's in one of the later ones that were on the Sci-Fi Channel called Future War.
Okay, yes.
It's Terminator, but low rent Terminator, so they just put like a kind of cybernetic patch over his eye and like marches relentlessly at somebody. If you need somebody in your movie to march relentlessly, Robert Zadar has that.
He is your
covered.
Man.
That's on his resume is like
talents include,
his jaw is the right size for what we're thinking, but can he march relentlessly? And his agent is like, yeah, he can. Here's some clips.
Robert Zadar was also in Frogtown 2.
Of course.
The sequel to Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Man, the sequel.
Yes, 1992. I did not know there was a sequel.
People saw that movie. That'd be a good movie for us to do too.
It had Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Brian James.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And Rhonda Shear was in it.
Brian James, dude. I want to know. You know what? I've already got a guy that I want to focus on today, and I think he's a really good one. But Brian James would be a fucking great one.
Yeah.
He's in Tango and Cash.
He had an Australian accent.
I've listened to the How Did This Get Made on that movie a lot. Apparently, Sylvester Stallone just wanted him to do a accent. He's an American dude, and for some reason, and it's shitty. He sounds like an American guy that's trying to do an accent.
And they made fun of it.
Yes. Maybe that's it.
Kurt Russell was just like, I don't want to be killed by this Aussie fucker.
Right.
Give me an American fucker to kill me.
So let's throw some racism in with everything else that we're doing.
But Kurt Russell,
oh man,
it kind of looked like Sylvester Stallone, didn't work out as much just so Kurt Russell could buff up and they could look equal.
I think about that a lot. I think about that more than I probably should. Kurt Russell's physique You know what I'm saying?
I think about Kurt Russell's physique often. Is that
Look,
what you're saying?
He's my favorite actor. I take a lot of things into consideration when I'm watching one of his movies, but he's a good looking dude, right? His hair is like
the best hair in the business. Second place would be Kevin Bacon, early 80s hair.
And I'm saying maybe.
Maybe. Because Kurt Russell usually takes the first 3 spots in the best hair category.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon isn't as good looking as Kurt Russell.
You're right.
I don't think. What was I saying? So anyway, he sort of has like a, I for sure would not say dad bod, but he's just a guy. You know what I mean? Like when he's Jack Burton, he's in good shape, but not that good shape, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like he's got, but of course that was like the time that, you know, nobody had abs or anything. That's a pretty new development, I think.
Sure. I've only had one my entire life, so.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like the bottom one. It's hidden by your jeans. I got this one ab. It's great. What were we talking about?
Robert Zadar's later shit. I saw an interview with him that was 7 years ago, and I swear it sounds like he was being voiced by Nick Nolte. It's like Nick Nolte was dubbed in.
Or like Brian Johnson from AC/DC. I'm an AC/DC. How do you... Dude, let's take the next 30 minutes and just try to sound like Brian Johnson. We need to do Maximum Overdrive for sure.
Yeah, I could deal with that. All right. So I think that's going to conclude with my Robert Zadar.
Yeah, I think that was great. I think he's an unsung hero from that time period, and sucks that he's dead. And
somebody please find me some of his music from the band that he was in. What's it
called?
Hold on, I'm going back to it here.
Also watch his TED Talks too, about being an actor with a giant chin. He's in the Sci-Fi Channel era MST twice. He's in Future War, and he's also in Soul Taker.
Are they both in season 10?
Yeah. Soul Taker was the last episode of MST, I believe. I think so.
I might just see that, because that's Joe Estevez.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. And man, do they get together for the holidays, Joe and like Martin Sheen? You know what I'm saying? Because have you ever seen Grace and Frankie?
No.
Oh my God, you got to watch it. Why am I blanking on his name? Martin Sheen, right? Oh gosh, is fucking fantastic. It seems like now he is like in his groove as an actor.
Now he's in his groove? He's got to be getting up there. How old is he?
Yeah, he's in his 70s. He has completely white hair. You need to do yourself a favor and watch a few episodes of Grace and Frankie. You know, and I've never watched West Wing.
No.
Everybody says it's great, but that just sounds like the most boring thing ever.
If I need to catch up on sleep, or if I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll turn it on.
Have it playing in the background, kind of like a waterfall or something like that. But for him to be brothers with Joe Estevez is insane. You know what I mean? If you watch the very beginning of like Roller Gator or something similar to that, did you know that there was a movie called Roller Gator?
Roller Gator, no.
Do yourself a favor, look it up on YouTube, watch the trailer. We watch bad movies.
Are they bad?
I mean, in general, we will watch a bad movie.
Yeah. You're just talking about Caveman in general. I got you.
Look, the fact that I was excited when that came on TV is like, what was that? Was my life so just...
It was the early 80s. You were young.
Man.
Okay, just to reiterate, now I'm going to send you a picture here in just a little bit of...
Okay.
I found it on Twitter. that's supposedly Robert Zadar in his band.
Okay, great.
But it looks so young, it's hard to tell because the jaw is not there. Mm-hmm. The face looks different. Yeah.
That is blowing my mind that is a condition that he like lived with. That's crazy. I mean, I guess I assumed that that's what it was. Either that or he was in like a, catastrophic accident or something.
Well, they even make fun of his chin in Tango and Cash.
Yeah, they do.
Because I guess Sylvester Stallone broke his chin and Kurt Russell's like, you broke that chin?
Yep. He's like, come on, guys.
But the band is called Nova Express.
Of course it is.
So if anybody out there listening, please find me some video.
I assume it's prog rock,
sure.
Kind of. Yeah, I could really get into that. He was also in Samurai Cop.
Yes.
Which is probably, he does he has dialogue in that and,
Oh, he speaks?
Yeah. I think he probably got cast in a lot of stuff just simply based on how he looks.
Yep. Probably. That chin probably made him a lot of money.
Yep. I'm sorry. What did he die of?
Heart attack.
Okay. It wasn't. Okay. I'm going to get struck down, but it wasn't complications due to his chin didn't take over his face and smother him or anything. Okay. Anyway, so because I've got a guy too.
All right.
But I've just kind of.
I'm wrapped up on my guy. I'm happy that we've talked for an hour about Robert Zadar.
Holy shit. Well, I just kind of came upon this guy. He is a typical, I could say his name and you wouldn't have any idea of what I was talking about. But when you see him, you're like, oh yeah, he's in fucking everything. And of course, I have closed out that tab somehow.
Son of a bitch.
Awkward. When I fucking unload what my next movie is going to be, there's going to be a lot of...
There's going to be some silence as my jaw is agape.
Exactly. I'm not lying. I really lost... That's what happens when I go on IMDb. If I don't create another tab...
Mm-hmm. It's gone.
Are we calling this a certain thing or just just a highlight, Okay, so listen to my fucking dude, all right?
Come in.
Kevin J. O'Connor. First thoughts. What's right off the top of your head?
We just brought him up last episode.
Did we really?
Well, it was in the Yarn Wall before Caveman.
Okay.
We brought him up because he was in Lord of Illusions.
Oh, right. We did kind of talk about Lord of Illusions.
Right, but we just brought him up briefly because he reminded me of the other Weasley guy in Criminal Minds.
Of course. So That's why, he's a character actor.
Yes.
You utilize him correctly and you've got a bunch of creepy shit, but he's a great actor. I guess I noticed him first in Lord of Illusions. Right. Mm-hmm. He's also in The Mummy. And okay, so let's just address the one first. I guess he is the titular character. Mm-hmm. He is the Lord of Illusions.
Yes. The illusionist.
Right, exactly. Lord of Illusions is a crazy movie. I think it is directed by Clive Barker.
Yes.
Written by Clive Barker.
Yes.
And you know what, guys? Throw in some Scott Bakula. He is the kind of John Constantine.
Right. Okay.
I don't know where that kind of trope got introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hard-boiled private eye, but also dabbles in magic, right?
Okay.
So Scott Bakula in that movie. Have you ever read the story?
No.
It's not called Lord of Illusions. It's called...
The Last Illusion.
The Last Illusion. Yes. Thank you.
So Scott Bakula played a character by the name of Harry D'Amour.
Right.
Did that character show up in other Clive Barker stories?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He is the guy from The Great and Secret Show, I think.
Okay. I borrowed that book from Michael. It's still sitting over here. I've never given it back to him.
Man, I've read it a few times, and it's big, dude.
It is.
When you're reading a book that's over 1,000 pages, it's like, oh, brother. But of course, you can kind of skim past some of that stuff. I know that character reoccurs. I think he reoccurs in like Everville, which is it's the sequel to The Great and Secret Show.
Right.
Man, it's just as thick as the one before. I mean, it's like Clive Barker, his mind is just so... The fact that he directed these two and directed Hellraiser, I mean, Hellraiser is in like top 10 horror movies of all time, you know? And that was his debut, you know? Didn't you and Michael used to watch a creepy... you know, he had those short movies that were on...
We don't want to talk about those.
We don't want to? No. Okay.
Those are back in the early 70s. It was I just looked it up the other day. It was Salome and the Forbidden. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it had Bradley, what's his
It
first
had
name?
Devastating effects after Michael and I watched it. So
yeah.
I
just don't want to bring it up again.
Don't want to bring it up. Harry Dammore, his first appearance in the short story, The Last Illusion.
Oh, okay.
Was in the Books of Blood, Volume 6.
Yes.
He later appeared briefly in The Great and Secret Show.
Okay.
Then again, in a short story called Lost Souls. He returns as a major character in Everville.
Yes. He is the main character.
And then appears alongside Pinhead in the Scarlet Gospels.
Of course. Right.
Okay.
So it's a really cool character that Clive Barker created. He's a hard-boiled detective. Imagine him in a trench coat and a fucking fedora if you want to. But he also...
that it's not the character anymore. It's only Scott Bakula.
Exactly. His thing is that he's covered in tattoos. You know?
Okay.
They're like they're protections against certain types of magic because he's a paranormal investigator.
Okay. So what do the tattoos represent?
They're wards against typical types of bad shit like demon, you know. He's kind of walking the line between normal world and this supernatural world that exists. They're constantly trying to break over into our
okay.
If you're down with that. I mean, it's just your basic, evil shit.
Evil shit. Gotcha.
Anyway, not even talking about Scott Bakula. I'm
Nope.
trying to talk about Kevin J. O'Connor.
That's right.
Okay, so I know him from Deep Rising.
Mm-hmm.
He is just kind of a, to treat Williams. I couldn't tell you what.
His character's name is Joey Pantucci.
Yeah, and he kind of has, I don't know if he's affecting it in that movie, but he does kind of have a, maybe Italian accent or so. He's kind of playing a certain type of character, but he's also in The Mummy.
Right.
As kind of like I'm sure his name is Farouk or something. He wears a little fez and he's obviously white, but he affects like this kind of, Indian kind of, or, like a...
He's playing a character by the name of Benny Gabor.
Well, anyway, I didn't care for it. And
I don't remember much of it because I'm the same way.
You're visualizing him, right? Or are you looking him up on IMDb?
I'm flipping through him.
Okay, because one of his, I wouldn't say like, if you look at Peggy Sue Got Married, which was his first movie, he's really handsome before he loses that top curly, he's got kind of curly hair.
Actually, he was in One More Saturday Night before Peggy Sue Got Married.
Do you see the picture of him and Jim Carrey sitting behind him in school? It's really cool. You should look at it. It's on the IMDb for Peggy Sue Got Married.
I've never seen this movie.
What? Peggy Sue Got Married?
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's one of those that I just refuse to watch.
Huh. Interesting. Nicolas Cage, Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little picture of him. He only has like one line. But Jim Carrey is sitting behind him, and he's got like a full head of hair, and he's really handsome, which is odd because he is a interesting looking guy. He's
Hey, I can relate.
well, sort of,
Yeah.
kind of lost his hair up front, and maybe that's what.
But put him next to Jim Carrey. He just got a whole lot of forehead.
Yeah, exactly. Like, watch a movie on it. Anyway, I like him, and he's quirky and interesting. I like him as a character actor. I don't know if there was much more that I was going to say about him. Can you think of a movie that he's in that you really like?
Candy Mountain was 1987.
Yes, and I looked that up too. I mean, this is why I picked him, because he has a very interesting young life in movies and settled into kind of an odd. He's very much a character actor, just his face kind of lends itself to.
Well, maybe this is where you came back around, because Candy Mountain was, I guess he's co-directed and written by Rudy Wurlitzer.
Exactly. Who also did you say it?
Two-Lane Blacktop.
Right. That's why I was.
That's how you got
what
there.
all. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Man, a long hour and a half.
Kevin was also in Steel Magnolias.
Oh, okay.
He was in FX2. I don't remember him in FX2, but I remember watching it. It wasn't near as good as FX.
No. Was it still Brian Brown?
Yeah, Brian Brown and Brian Dennehy.
R.I.P.
Yes.
Yep.
But I don't remember him in FX2. I've seen that plenty of times, but FX1 was still just the bomb.
I'm sorry, did you say Brian Brown was in FX2?
Oh, yeah.
Was Brian Dennehy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, okay. I might have seen that one too, but I don't remember.
Equinox, which is twins separated at birth and living opposite lives, are about to learn of each other and the substantial inheritance that they're entitled to. That has Matthew Modine, Laura Flynn Boyle, Fred Ward, Marissa Tomei, Laurie Singer, M. Emmett Walsh, along with Kevin J. O'Connor. I mean, it's a huge cast. Gaylord Sartain.
Oh, one of the, I remember when he was at the Globe doing Shakespeare, Gaylord Sartain, is an impeccable.
Sure.
Wait a minute. Back up. What were you just saying before Gaylord Sartain? Because I really lost the thread. Yeah. Who's before him? I'm asking this because I really got a good one.
M. Emmett Walsh.
Yes.
Laurie Singer. Yeah.
M. Emmett Walsh. Does he live on the, Universal lot or something, and they just like wake him up when
Hey.
They're like, he has been in everything.
227 credits.
Wow.
Are we doing Blood Simple?
For sure. Is that Craig Wasson? Is that the main character?
Yes. That's not the one we're doing next week, though?
No. Okay, are you ready for me to go into my deal?
Let me go back. I want to finish reading about this, because there's a couple of more things on Kevin J. O'Connell.
Oh my God, dude. M. Emmett Walsh in The Jerk. He's like, he hates these cans. Those like ricochet.
Kevin was in No Escape.
Yep.
With Ray Liotta. I saw this at the theater. It's a pretty good movie with Lance Henriksen, Kevin Dillon.
Is that the Louisiana movie?
No.
What did you just say? What's the movie?
No Escape?
Yeah, it's Kim Basinger, right? And maybe Armand Asante or something.
Wrong movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like a dystopian future.
Right.
One.
Cool movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
Did.
I liked it too.
But it had Kevin Dillon. And Kevin J. O'Connor was in that.
Okay.
Along with Michael Lerner, Ernie Hudson.
Sure. Oh, Ernie. I love Ernie Hudson. He was in The Crow. Remember that?
I remember that.
Dude, I was watching The Crow the other day, and that scene, even just like the little scenes where she kind of like skates up to the little hot dog thing, and
Mm-hmm.
that movie is just so badass. Anyway.
Then Kevin J. O'Connor was also in Gods and Monsters.
Yes. And that's how I when I saw him, I knew I wanted to do the deep dive on him, but he's also part of the yarn to get back to. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I couldn't tell you how he is, but
he's in there somewhere.
He's in there somewhere.
Interesting. I enjoyed Gods and Monsters because it came out the same time as Apt Pupil.
Uh-huh.
And Apt Pupil was an interesting story, but Gods and Monsters, I think,
both have Gandalf in them.
Yeah. It was just a really creepy story. And Ian McKellen, I guess he didn't really show up on my radar until
Lord of the
Gods
Rings.
and Monsters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's been around for fucking years.
Yeah, for sure. He was in The Keep. That movie has a lot. You know what? The Keep, that's almost what next week was going. I
expected that.
I know you did.
You gave me the hint that it was only one real actor that you could get to it. And I'm like, well, The Keep has way too many that we could make a thread to. It would have been way easier.
This is like a game now because I really thought I'm gonna really fucking,
I'm going to give it to Tim. Yeah.
I'm glad you thought it was The Keep because I think I was like giving you a false, Michael Mann. Wow. We're going to have to do that movie eventually,
Yeah.
But just the Tangerine Dream soundtrack and just all the, graphics just are so crazy.
I'm with you.
Michael Mann is fucking great.
So just most recently, though, Kevin J. O'Connor was in Exorcism at 60,000 feet.
Yeah. Saw
something
that.
I might need to watch.
Yep. Maybe.
Bai Ling is in that. Bai Ling,
okay.
I think, didn't she play a Jedi at one time?
Yeah, maybe.
She was in The Crow.
For sure. I like the pretty eyes, is what she says. It's okay to do cocaine, but we've got to be cannibals and do cocaine or something. She's in all the Crank movies, I think.
Is that right?
Have you ever seen Crank?
Maybe the first two. Were there more than two?
Man, probably. They're like Fast and the Furious.
It's about one guy who has to stay alive by keeping his heart rate up.
Exactly.
And they keep him alive for several movies.
I guess? Question mark? I don't know. And he always talks like this. Anyway, yeah, Bai Ling is in Crank, and she's great. I love her. When I let you in on what this whole last part is going to be, you're going to be like, damn, you must be exhausted by that. But, like I said, I was going to do, like kind of a purposefully obtuse sort of, 7, what are we calling this exactly? Can we still just call it the Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, 62 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Right. If Kevin Bacon was like an Italian
Gio movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what's fun is it's movies that Kevin Bacon would never be in, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's funny that we're kind of playing that game, but although, I understand Tremors and Friday the 13th. But okay, so do you want to hear my...
are we going through Heaven Help Us?
I don't know. I love that movie. Oh my gosh. What is that? Kevin Dillon and Andrew McCarthy. Yep. They made him hold up the books. And is that Donald Sutherland also? One of the teachers?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And
wasn't who was the one that masturbated daily for hours and hours?
Oh man.
Patrick Dempsey is in that. Yardley Smith is in that. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I haven't seen this in years.
Oh, my God.
But no, I thought there was a character that...
masturbated?
Like, constantly. And I thought it was like Evil Ed or something like that.
I don't think he's
Stephen Jeffries. He's in it. There he is.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He's the one that says he masturbates like 6-7 times a day.
Okay. Kevin Dillon, Patrick Dempsey, Andrew McCarthy,
Wallace Shawn. he was a priest.
Inconceivable.
You said that like you had no lips.
John Hurd is in it also?
Yes.
As a
Brother Timothy. I forgot that we lost John Hurd a couple of years ago to a heart attack.
No way, really?
Yeah,
I don't
2017.
Think I knew that.
Yeah. 3 years ago.
Gosh, I remember watching Altered State. Like, Altered States was on TV back in the day, you know?
Mm-hmm. I love that movie.
It just was a lot of, like, that's some science shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember thinking back in the day, like, is that really possible?
To do enough drugs, you think you are going back to your original self?
I mean,
sure.
Just taking a ton of acid and getting into a deprivation tank.
Oh, and John Hurd, I forgot he was in Cat People. I swear I saw this at the theater.
Cat People is not a very interesting movie. I don't know how else to say that.
It's an interesting idea.
Yes. And also is that Michael Mann? Who is that?
No, that's Schrader. Paul Schrader.
Well, the opening is very kind of,
yeah,
Roger Dean album cover or something. Like, I don't know what they were going for, but it was very like 80s,
I did not know that Paul Schrader, he wrote Taxi Driver.
Oh, okay.
And he wrote the original story for Rolling Thunder.
Wow, dude.
Very interesting. Screenplay for Raging Bull, American Gigolo.
Is Scorsese's buddy.
Mm-hmm. Last Temptation of Christ. He wrote the screenplay for that.
And it's like, guy gets crucified.
Yeah.
in scene. No, I don't know. I was trying to be a dumbass. Paul Schrader. I thought he came in to do one of the Exorcist sequels, the last ones. Oh, the kind of prequel ones that had the guy from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
That is not the case of this?
I don't know. We're at the outer limits of our fucking... I don't even remember what we were originally talking about. We were talking about Heaven Help Us.
Right.
But can I say it was one of my all-time... I absolutely loved that movie, and it was on so much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it, just like Pretty in Pink or 16 Candles. I have seen it, not even... I'm not exaggerating, like 100 times. Love that movie. I loved Andrew McCarthy. I love Mannequin. How many times have you seen Mannequin? It's Hollywood. Anyway. Okay.
All right. Hold on, but let me go back to this real quick. Just Dominion, which was the prequel to The Exorcist, right?
Yes.
They did it along with Exorcist the Beginning.
Right.
And Paul Schrader directed Dominion.
Interesting.
So I was right.
Okay. Not Paul Schaefer from David Letterman. That would be weird. Hey, just go over there, babe. He just calls everybody babe for some reason. I think that's what all musicians do, is just call people babe.
I'm ready for you to start your yarn now.
I'm ready for me to start it too.
Let's get into it. I'm going to close out another tab. I only have 3 tabs open. I'm so happy.
Oh my God, dude.
And one of them is the base IMDb tab. So just ready for a search.
just itching for... Just type in Benson. Or Soap. Ever just look at the people that were in Soap? Okay. And that's kind of keeping with what I'm doing right here.
We're going down to Robert Guillaume?
Maybe. Probably not.
Oh, too bad. His last name was Dubois.
Are you kidding me? In Benson?
Yes. Benson Dubois.
Okay, guys. Oh my God. It would be crazy if he was like into voodoo.
All this time he was setting people up to be his pawns.
Is that racialistic?
No.
Cut this out of the podcast.
I just want to say Robert Guillaume died at the age of 89. Just a few years ago.
Seems
full life.
Okay, dude. This is going to be a little confusing. So let's start from Caveman. Okay?
Caveman.
We agree that Shelley Long is a national treasure and has been underutilized in the last few decades of, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. She's in Modern Family, and still looking great.
She's made her rounds.
She's a household name. And also, when movies talk about like this weird, kind of Sam and Diane situation, that's it. It's the will they, won't they type thing. Did they? I don't know.
Shelley Long was in a movie called Zombie Hamlet. So
yeah,
just throwing that out there.
Yeah. She was also in The Money Pit with Tom Hanks, which I saw in the theater. Remember that scene where he falls down in the little sinkhole? And have I said this before? Have I brought this up on
3 or 4 episodes? That's all right.
Man, to not remember is crazy. Of course, I've said that before. It's one of the greatest comedic turns. He's there all night. Okay, so. I'm really stretching. I'm really playing this out. This is going to be the weirdest, connection ever. Do you know who Julia Duffy is off the top of your head?
That sounds familiar.
She is, I want to say, Bob Newhart's niece in Newhart. Okay.
Okay.
She kind of runs it's Newhart. I shouldn't have to but you know what I'm talking about, right? My name's Daryl. My other brother.
Yeah, my brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl.
Right. I loved Newhart. But anyway, Julia Duffy.
I used to watch that, yeah.
Yeah.
But Shelley Long was also in Losing It, by the way.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. With Tom Cruise, Jackie Earle Haley.
Wow, really?
John Stockwell.
Oh my gosh. Love that guy. That's thrown me way off because now...
You could have gone somewhere else, couldn't you?
Yes, potentially. Let me finish what I was... because, yes, I get it, but Julia Duffy. Duffy.
What was she in with Shelley Long?
She was in a episode of Cheers. And I think she was Shelley Long's maybe college buddy that came to... You'll know her the second you see her. She's cute, just...
Yeah, I see her. She's a cute blonde girl.
And she was in a ton.
She was in Designing Women.
That's what I remember her from, is Designing Women.
Wizards of Waverly Place. She was in Dumb and Dumberer.
Oh, huh.
Why? Charlotte's Web 2.
Oh my God. How do you have a sequel? The spider's dead.
It's Wilbur's Great Adventure. That's why. Now you know.
Wilbur.
She was Rebecca Prout in Cheers.
Okay.
And that's Any Friend of Diane's is the episode.
That's just what I inferred.
But this girl was in Breaking Away, the TV series. I didn't know they made a TV series about Breaking Away. That starred Dennis Quaid.
Look, this is getting...
Off topic?
A little bit.
It always gets off topic. Go right ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No. We need to,
uncover who this girl is. I mean, she's cute, but I can't necessarily say that I recognize her.
Her character type is kind of like the, Courtney Thorne Smith, She's just a cute blonde chick. And
just backing up for a second, though, she played the voice of Charlotte in Charlotte's Web 2.
In Charlotte's Web 2.
The dead voice? The dead spider's voice?
I don't know that I've ever seen the sequel of that movie. Seems weird. Huh. I don't know. I mean, but anyway. Ba-doo-doo-doo. Mana. And Designing Women. I was there for every episode of that.
I watched a lot of that. I can't say that I was there for every episode, but
it also had Meshack Taylor.
Really?
Well, I don't know if that's the most, gay positive character ever. Or Hollywood. Hollywood was over the top, but he's married with children. You know what I'm saying? Like he
was playing the gayest character, but he's not gay.
That was his, kind of shtick, I guess. Isn't that weird? I don't know. I shouldn't say, isn't that weird?
Isn't that weird? And he was a cop in The Beast Within?
Where am I at? Because I feel like...
We're still on Julia Duffy, which I was just going through her career, just looking at different stuff.
Now, this is going to be a big one, so I need you to...
brace for it.
Yeah, kind of. Have you ever heard of a television show called The Mommies?
No.
Look it up right now.
I think you're making it up right now.
It occurred in the 90s.
Was she in it?
Yes.
The Mommies TV series. She was Bob Belaine. Two typical moms, Marilyn and Carol.
Typical moms.
Yes, live a suburban life with husbands Jack and Paul, plus assorted children. Their neighborhood is shaken up by perfect Barb house dad Tom. What the fuck? A divorce from Jack.
It's written
I've lost
poorly.
Interest.
So it's like a cuck kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're just... I don't know. What you just read, you know what? If you look down farther where it like sort of suggests other shows that you might like. They are fucking weird. The Paul Lynde Show. Holy.
What the fuck is Dan August?
I don't know. I have never heard of it before.
Day by Day? No. Baby Talk? No.
It's Norman Fell and Burt Reynolds.
Which one? Dan August?
Yeah, Dan August.
Holy shit, it is. Yep. I can see just in the picture. I don't have to say anything else.
Yeah, it's Mr. Roper.
We've got to stop the podcast right now so I can watch this.
Okay.
Detective August works the crime beat in his hometown, Santa Luisa, California, working with and against people with whom he grew up.
He's like, I only solve crimes in August. If it's July, don't even talk to me.
Dan August.
Like a reservation because I only work in August. I have never heard of that.
Nope.
I love Norman Fell.
This was on for 2 seasons.
Yeah. There's a lot of those, dude.
Dabney Coleman was in an episode.
Does that surprise you at all?
No.
He basically like grew up out of the like craft services. He's like
just think of the mustache on screen time. Woo. Yeah. And Vic Morrow.
Yep.
He was in an episode. Vera Miles was in an episode.
Roger Corman.
Why are we not doing a episode by episode of this? Annette O'Toole.
Love Annette
Larry
O'Toole.
Hagman. Martin Sheen was in an episode. That's where you're connecting, isn't it?
Nope.
No. Okay. Not even to this. Let's go back.
Okay.
The Mommies.
All right. Now, do you want to hear who?
Let me look at the Mommies.
This is the thread that's going to give you the clue. Okay.
There's absolutely nobody in this fucking movie except for David Dukes.
If you look right below Julia Duffy, it says David Dukes, and I want you to click on that.
I did. That's where I was. David Dukes.
Now, I am looking
Which was in Gods and Monsters, and we were just there a minute ago.
Sure was. Did you know that Gods and Monsters was produced by Clive Barker?
What the
because
fuck?
It's a, it's kind of like a gay history, you know what I mean?
This week on gay history.
So
did I go too far?
I liked it.
Okay.
Wow, I'm like, okay, farther. Anyway, Father Farley.
How far?
Can we please do the Man with Two Brains? I know it doesn't fit, but I could talk forever about that.
I can too.
Get that cat out of here. I mean, maybe the best movie ever? I don't know.
Maybe.
No, Blazing Saddles is the best movie ever, but...
David Jukes was in Rawhead Rex.
Well.
Is that where we're going?
Is that... I mean, you know...
I guess that's what we're doing.
I told you if you knew his name that it would be pretty, you know... And the fact that I went back from The Girl from Newhart. I love TV, you know, even like soap operas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think David Dukes might be a kind of soap opera guy, maybe. I think he was in one of those. Anyway.
He's been in all the TV shit. We're going to Rawhead Rex. That's where we're going? Okay.
That is like, I mean, I did the math and I was reading articles about Rawhead Rex in Fangoria at least a couple of months. I was really trying to lay out that timeline to myself today because I remember waiting for Evil Dead 2 to come out,
mm-hmm.
you know, and I just can't pinpoint exactly what happened. Did my mom take me in there to rent a 18 plus movie? Was I able to get it myself? Because I was kind of in love with the owner of the store.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading about Rawhead Rex in Fangoria, probably before I ever read a Clive Barker story.
Mm-hmm.
I probably watched the movie first, you know? And then I got the Books of Blood and read all, you know. And this is from a Book of Blood.
Yeah.
Do you know this movie? Are you familiar with this movie?
I don't remember the end of the movie. I watched it recently though, and I think I fell asleep before the end for some reason.
Do you want to start doing a podcast about movies that we really like?
That's just funny. So even though as hard as it is, there's so many different ways to get back to the same.
But you
movie.
have to admit that I did do it in the most,
yes,
you know, kind of.
It was not a RoboCop 1 to RoboCop 3 jump.
Right. Yeah, we really punted on that one. Although, I mean, we were still trying to figure out the rules. It's fun.
Hmm?
Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. We're the only ones that care about this.
Did we talk about Penitentiary 2?
No.
No? I swear,
maybe.
I think I brought this up last episode because I think I was talking about Tony Cox.
Uh-huh. Watch your language.
Because Paul Rodriguez was in DC Cab.
Sure.
With Mr. T. Mr. T was in Penitentiary 2.
Okay.
Right? Which was, it's a blaxploitation film. It was a second movie. He was actually in the Blues Brothers.
Mr. T was?
Somebody please, because Blues Brothers shows Guy on Street uncredited for Mr. T. Somebody please find that and send it to me. I'd love to see it. So kinda Blues Brothers, Penitentiary 2, and then Rocky 3, Mr. T was Clubber Lang. Those are his first 3 credits. In Penitentiary 2, Mr. T was playing as Mr. T.
Mm-hmm. His Christian name?
That's it. It was interesting. Ernie Hudson was in it. But I just watched a bit of it where there was just fighting, and that's what it is, really. It's just a boxing movie.
Like Diggstown?
A little bit under Diggstown. I hold Diggstown in great respect.
Too bad James Woods turned out to be
a douche.
Yeah. Do you know about that at all?
Yeah, you talked about that before.
Mm.
But Leon Isaac Kennedy played Too Sweet.
Okay. In what movie?
Penitentiary 2, and also Penitentiary 3.
If he's going to do part 2, you might as well bring him back.
Mm-hmm. But he was also in Lone Wolf McQuade. Great fucking movie.
I don't know that off the top of my head.
Lone Wolf McQuade was Chuck Norris and David Carradine.
Oh, okay.
And all I can remember is that Chuck Norris had this badass, like, Bronco that had, like, turbocharge. And for some reason, David Carradine and his thugs buried him in the truck.
Cool.
And, like, beat the shit out of him. Knocked him out, and he wakes up and he's buried, and he starts up the car and turns on the supercharge and fucking drives himself out of the grave.
Sweet.
But Lone Wolf McQuade had David Carradine, Barbara Carrera, Leon Isaac Kennedy, L.Q. Jones, and R.G. Armstrong.
Love both of those guys. I mean, that's the epitome of like a character actor. Like, who can we put in this chair that looks like a fucking baked potato and he can deliver some lines? Perfect. L.Q. Jones. Perfect.
You got R.G. Armstrong? Double take.
Yeah. Well, we might as well not even. We're not going to show up for work tomorrow. We're just going to let R.G. Armstrong just work his magic.
Dude, Kane Hodder was listed as a goon, uncredited, in Lone Wolf McQuade.
What year is that? 70s?
1983. So
there's a lot of those, what's that movie? Silent
Rage.
Silent Rage.
Loved Silent Rage. Should have had a sequel.
Yeah.
Set it up for a sequel.
Not So Silent Rage 2. The Enraging.
Beautiful.
I've seen that movie a few times.
So many times. 1982, Silent Rage. And Ron Silver was the doctor, right? Stephen First was in that. I think he was a cop.
Yeah, he was kind of like a idiot, deputy.
So who is the bad guy in that?
I want to say, like, what's the guy with burns on his face?
I think it's this guy, Brian Libby.
Oh, man.
Who played John Kirby. I think that's who it is.
Seems like a normal...
Yeah.
What's the guy that I'm thinking of?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We've talked about him before.
Yeah. He's just a classic bad guy.
All right. I think we covered just about everything we can cover this episode, because we can go on and on for hours and hours about absolutely nothing. And I enjoy that.
Sure. But we really got what we needed to get, which was we're watching Rawhead Rex next week.
Rawhead Rex.
Are you excited about it?
Can you read it off for me?
You mean kind of the description of it?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I'll see if I can. Oh, man. So many tabs open. Ireland will never be the same after Rawhead Rex. Okay. This makes me wonder whether, like, who writes this is just the intro, thing on IMDb.
Hey, can you read it like Brother Gottlieb?
No, I knew you were going to say that, and no, I can't.
No? Come on.
If the word potatoes comes up, then yes, I will give a little flourish, but I'm not going to. It happens in Ireland. Get over it. They had a potato famine. It fucking killed like 1 million people. I don't need to. Okay, Ireland will never be the same after Rawhead Rex, a particularly nasty demon who is writing the intro to this is released from his underground prison by an unwitting farmer. Okay,
so he was digging up potatoes.
Actually, think he was.
And unleashed.
I mean, no sarcasm.
So is Rawhead Rex a potato demon?
I don't know. You tell me. His face looks.
It looks baked.
I can talk about it real quick. Like, I know this movie intimately, read about it in Fangoria and could not wait until it came out. It's a Clive Barker story. He wrote it. It's directed by this guy that did...
No, this is George Pavlo.
Yeah. He did another movie called Transmutations, which I remember seeing the box art for. Do you recall that one?
I'm looking at it now. Yes,
Yeah.
we had it at the video store.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched it.
I don't think
but
I have
under
either.
his directing credits, he only has 4 directing credits, and it does not say Transmutations.
Well,
but up at the top, it says known for Transmutations, which was called Underworld.
Underworld, exactly.
Which is also written by Clive Barker?
Yes, exactly. And I don't know what story that is.
Oh my God. Transmutations has Denholm Elliott.
Okay.
You know him from Trading Places.
Uh-huh.
And from Indiana Jones, right?
Yes.
Right? Because he played Brody.
Yeah.
It also has Steven Berkoff in it.
Oh, well.
You remember Steven Berkoff? The guy with the thing in the middle of his forehead?
Yes.
From
Beverly Hills
We had
Cop.
a huge conversation about this. Yes.
He almost for sure is not Terrence Stamp. We've almost solved the puzzle. We might still call him Terrence Stamp.
From now on again. Yes, we will.
Separated at birth. I don't know.
So George Pavlov's dog.
Mm-hmm. If we're gonna, Rawhead Rex is played by Heinrich von Schellendorf.
Yes, the only credit in film the guy's ever had.
You know, Schellendorf.
Oh, from the von Schellendorfs.
Let's just leave it lay where it is. We'll come back to it later. But yeah, I think I chose a pretty solid movie. It was in the moratorium because I waited for it to come out, you know. It's like Evil Dead 2, you know. I really went to different stores to see the opening day when it was going to come out. And this was kind of like that too. Just read Fangoria. I just had to see this movie when it came out. And when we do it next week, you know, I'll have a lot of. It was a comic book first, so I'll have a lot of that, and maybe we can put some.
We'll put some art out on the group page on Twitter.
Yeah, it was.
Please follow us on Twitter and on Facebook.
But yeah.
All right, I'm excited.
Me too.
It's gonna be good times.
Okay.
You got anything else to add?
No, I don't really. I mean, I think we've
reached the end of the internet.
I think that people who want to watch Rawhead Rex, is it available on YouTube? Have you looked at it?
No. That was your job.
I know. I brought it up.
It looks like it's on Vudu and Amazon Prime from $2.99. There's a 4K restoration.
Well, yeah. That just came out very recently.
Now available for streaming.
Yeah.
All those people who used your stimulus money to buy a nice 4K TV.
Yeah.
Stream this movie.
Yeah. Take it out for a walk. And you know what? I watched the 4K version and it is, I mean, it's amazing. Okay, yeah, we like VHS movies and stuff, but that movie's never looked so good. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Looks great. And Julia Duffy, you know, she's real cute. And also, Julia Duffy, oh my God.
She's an actress?
Can we just do a Julia Duffy podcast?
Over her 12 movies? No, she's been in more than that. I'm still on Chuck Norris.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else to offer?
Nope. I think that's it. We
I
did
think
it.
We've done our job.
Yep. High five over the ear.
Virtual
things.
5.
Yep. And next week we'll do Rawhead Rex.
All right. You want to take everybody out with the
Transylvania 6 5000.
Oh, I was going with Night Court. Okay, do Night Court now.
It's kind of like a Seinfeld, kind of bass line, you know?
Yeah. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo.
Boom, 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 boom. Is there another one after everybody's like
second verse?
Is there another fucking like line to this? Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
If you're talking about like comfort sounds, like comfort music, you know, like the Cheers theme and Night Court would be like, and WKRP in Cincinnati.
Can you bring out WKRP now?
Oh my God.
You can't. Oh.
Yeah, I can. I sure as fuck can right now.
Because I'm stuck on Arthur for some reason. I got.
Oh no! You don't want to. You don't want to do that. Hang on a second. You're gonna have to include this. Oh, it's so good.
So many Easter eggs.
So good.
Weather today in the greater Cincinnati area.
They're solid plastic, so don't settle for imitation.
But the senator, while insisting he was not intoxicated, could not explain his nudity.
What?
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me.
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati WKRP.
I'm a WKRP in Cincinnati.
You're going to have to repeat that. Remember that episode of Different Strokes? What?
Or Gordon Jump was a child molester. Anyway, you know what? Maybe we should just gloss over that. Oh my God, Herb Tarkelson? Is that his name?
Sure.
Oh my God. Remember when there was a tornado and like Andy got like, remember?
No.
Les Nessman was like, they're falling like, when they started dropping like frozen turkeys from the helicopter. That was a good episode. Falling like wet bags of cement.
Good times.
Yep, good.
All right. You got anything else? Last thing to say about Caveman, Rawhead Rex? Anything?
No. I'm just glad that we're, Rawhead Rex is like one of the, major, like I remember actively finding it and knew that it was a Clive Barker story and just one of those movies I had to get, like Evil Dead 2. Had to see it. Had to get my eyes on it.
All right. Well, it's going to be good times.
Yep.
All right. Then signing off.
Okay. Talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
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 Dude, David Dukes. I could say his name like a million times.
You've been listening to The Yarn Wall, an MT Cornfield production. Tune in next week for the 1986 Clive Barker monster slasher piece, Rawhead Rex. If you're interested in seeing Rex, you can stream it for free on YouTube or most major platforms for as low as $2.99. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, then rinse and repeat. We appreciate your support. If you have any movie suggestions, or just want to tell us how much we really suck, you can contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. And long live VHS.
Wait a minute. Back up.